The good news is that God so loved the world.
I couldn't believe it. There I was out in Blandford Forum bringing the message of the gospel, bringing the message of hope. People were listening, and a policeman came and put a stop to what I was doing, and suddenly, out of nowhere, gets on the back of my vehicle, grabs me by the arm strongly. It was humiliating, it was intimidating, it was shocking. I felt like a criminal, and the whole outreach, the message of salvation, was utterly halted. The reason why this case matters so much is that right now we're in the middle of a pandemic where people are committing suicide, there is mass depression, there is domestic violence, people are losing their jobs. Never has the need for spiritual hope, the message of the gospel, the message of the love of God, the message of salvation been as necessary as it is now.
Amazing grace.
I went to Blandford Forum. It was a beautiful sunny day during lockdown. There were various people out on the streets doing their shopping. It was quiet because obviously it was lockdown, but there were still people coming and going with their shopping. And I just stood out on the back of my truck and I began to sing Amazing Grace. I set up my video because I like to record the event that's happened, both to encourage the church as a record for myself, and also as it happens, in case something untoward happens, you've got it on video, which is why we have a record of what happened on that day.
It's a privilege to be here. My name is Dominic, and I'm a local minister. I'm a religious key worker, you might say, and I'm traveling across this county proclaiming the gospel.
As I was really getting started on unpacking the gospel, I noticed a policeman coming, striding towards me, and you know, I've been doing this a few years, and normally I can tell pretty quickly whether the policeman is just kind of on his daily beat, just walking, kind of, you know, looking out for people for criminals and stuff, or whether he's kind of after me, as it were. And it's actually very rare that the police have any problem with what I do. It's if anyone in authority, it's normally council people. But in this case, on this occasion, I could tell that this policeman was wanting to put a stop to what I was doing.
I'm going to have to ask you to move on.
Well, I don't have to move on. I've done this all over the county. I've done this all over the country.
I don't want this to start becoming an issue, because I'm going to need you to move on. I'm going to need you to produce some paperwork to say that you're entitled to do that here.
After a little bit of a kind of back and forth, a little bit of antagonism, but relatively peaceful, he said, okay, well, you can have a few minutes. And I think he gave me 3 minutes or something. Well, less than the time that the policeman had given me, he quite a lot before the time, actually, that he had allowed me to speak, he said, "Time's up." And as I was wrapping it up, he proceeded to mount my vehicle in a kind of quite an aggressive way, really, as basically to put a stop to it, and proved that point by grabbing me by the wrist.
In this hour, and I'm finishing with this, we need to not fear man, we need to fear God. May God bless you. Have a great afternoon. Thanks so much.
It was physically painful, it was quite shocking, it was intimidating, it was also shaming, it was humiliating. You know, when you're having to be stopped by an officer of the law, you know, policeman, then you know that the association you have with that is you're going to be arrested, you're a criminal. So with the help of Christian Concern, we have pressed charges against the Dorset Police, and there has been an out-of-court settlement where they've paid £1,200, they've admitted wrongdoing, and essentially I've been vindicated. This has got to stop. It's got to stop. It's wonderful that there's been this victory. There's been this vindication where actually the police have owned up. They've paid an out-of-court settlement, realised they've done what is wrong. They're the ones in the wrong. And actually that should give the church boldness and courage to go out there more than ever with this wonderful news of Jesus Christ, him crucified and raised from the dead. The gospel, the saving message for mankind. That's my heart. There's a huge redemptive thing that has happened through this initial disaster.